Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. Time for the March layout update. Not too much going on. It's been a light winter this year. The snow's starting to kind of go away, so I've been doing a lot of stuff outside and also working on my Fairmont motor car. So my time now is divided over a lot of projects instead of just working on the layout. But a couple things we've been working on this month. The staging yard. I've got most of that completed, so I can get some track in here. It's going to be an 8-track staging yard, 2 main lines, 6 storage tracks. I can hold 6 22-foot long trains. Enough to basically just run the layout. And then also been working on getting the blocks wired up with the BDL 168s from Digitrax, using the, I believe it's the AccuLights breakout boards. I'll take a look at that in a second here, just to confirm. But this is where the dispatcher's office is going to be. This is the east end of the layout where it comes into staging through the wall up there in top right-hand corner. The dispatcher's desk is going to be right here. The old TV being used as a monitor right now is just temporary. There's going to be 2 24-inch LCD monitors in here. That way the dispatcher has enough room. And then also there'll be a desk right in this area right here, so he has plenty of space to work. And there'll be a little whiteboard here on the left-hand side, so you can kind of keep track of what trains are going to be needed for the layout. So the computer right now is running off the Raspberry Pi 4. And it runs the JMRI server and the WeThrottle server, so that I can use phones as throttles and the Proto Throttle. So I've got just about everything I need for the Proto Throttle except for the throttle itself. They are currently out of stock. I know they have a bunch coming in right now that they are building and testing. So hopefully by the end of April, maybe first couple weeks of May, those will be back in stock, and I can order one of those and see if it kind of enhances operations on the layout. So the track comes here into the staging yard, and then it'll loop back over to the west end of the layout. This is also kind of the storage area. There's going to be some more shelves back here on the left, and the alcove over by the air handler, where the just store boxes and stuff like that. And comes back in to the west end of the layout. And as you can see, the swing bridge is still not installed or even showing any signs of being installed. That I'm going to work on probably in May. So you'll probably see that at the end of May's update. I can get that installed. I really kind of just want to get a majority of the work done benchwork wise on the BB branch, the BB Falls branch, until we get the swing bridge in here. So back over towards Paint Can Central over at CP Toma. The crossover's been installed at CP Toma, and the east side of the yard's track for Amoskeag Yard has been installed. I just have to get the west tracks installed off CP Toma here. So all of the mainline trackage other than the swing bridge has been installed now. And this has all the drops installed for the blocks as well. The Coltrane power is normally going to lay over here on the old TFC tracks. Finally got the Athearn 80 Mac re-lettered, so been patched for NS. Because at the time of the layout, that wouldn't have been Conrail. So if you are new to the video or the layout is set in 2008. So up to CP Amoskeag. Working on some scenery here, getting the roads installed for Market Basket. The access road on the back there. And then over towards Granite Street, all of the road work and sidewalks have been installed. Just got to get the sidewalks painted and the scenery brought up to the sidewalks and the curbs, and then that will be finished. And we'll get the road weathered. Nothing much has changed on the curve east of Granite Street, other than being used as a storage area because everything's just so hectic right now. Been moving some stuff around, so this section has kind of been a little bit of a staging area for some scenery materials and a lot of the stonework from was it brownstone models. The SD35s have been starting to get their factory lettering stripped, and those are going to be painted up in the Amoskeag Northern's maroon and black scheme. But for now, I've just been pulling all the lettering and doing reprogramming of the ESU decoders. I ended up picking up a Loc Sound or a Loc programmer and a decoder tester online for 135 bucks for both of them. Usually you get the programmer for like 140 bucks, and then that decoder tester is like another 50, something like that. Well, I ended up finding a guy online on eBay that was selling them, so picked them both up pretty cheap. And I've been replacing a lot of the factory boards in the Atlas units that I have with TCS motherboards. I like them because they have the keep alives on the motherboards built in, so I just replace the factory boards, put the TCS boards in there with the ESU Loc Sound decoders, and everything works pretty slick. Not much has changed scenery wise over here. This has had all the blocks wired up, so this is all set to be entered into JMRI to get programmed so I can get all the signaling to work. Still trying to figure out if I want to use the G-type signals here or do searchlights. The two chop nose 9s decals have been added, Loc Sound installed, so those are all finished. Just got to get them weathered up. These two units are assigned to the local out of Amoskeag Yard. So this is MF1's power, MF1 and MF2. It's the local that serves Mandrake Falls. They work all the industries here on the main line and then over on the BD Falls branch. Working on the bridge here. Again, not much changed over in this area. Like I said, most of what I've been working on is track work and getting the blocks all wired up. It's a C30-7 that I'm working on. These are the last of the older GEs on AN's roster. Somehow we painted them into the modern scheme instead of just scrapping them. Gonna finish up the ditch lights and the handrails to get that ready for service, and then two more gotta get done. Interlocking here at Mandrake. Oh, I gotta get that one last piece of track put in there, and then and then it goes into staging. Probably finish that once I start working on the staging yard. But most of what I've been working on is getting the BDL 168s installed and wired up. So I run the 18 gauge drops to each one of the blocks. There's a total of 40 blocks on the layout, and that's mostly for some signaling and automation. That's pretty much all that it does. And it uses these Aculite breakout boards that go on to the BDL 168 cards. It makes it a lot easier than having to wire up the ones that normally come on the Digitrax. So these are all previously wired from use on an older layout, and those breakout boards make this so much easier. Works more on the paper mill. Kind of getting everything situated in here so it fits the way I want it to fit, and then we'll get everything fixed in place. Some more 3D printed details. These are Boston and Maine P30 standard battery well boxes. They hold the 24 cell batteries for while you're signaling. So I made them with, look at this one. This one has the well cover on it, and then I designed one that does not have the well cover. It just has the wood inside that the batteries are covered with. So those are also available in the shop if you're interested. You get 4 of them. You get 2 of the covered, 2 of the uncovered in the kit that I made. And that's pretty much it for this month. Like I said, it's been kind of a hectic month trying to juggle outdoor projects, inside projects. I have a 1976 Fairmont A6F motor car that was originally from U.S. Steel in Pittsburgh, I think. Either Pittsburgh or Philadelphia. I've been working on that for probably 13 years now. I had it running, and then I decided the cab was pretty well shot on it. It was rusted out. It was also very, very, very heavy gauge steel for being used in the steel mill to kind of protect it from things falling on it and just being in an industrial area. So that project started probably about 10 years ago, and then just life kind of sidetracked it. So it's been a work in progress, and now with my new schedule, I can work on it a lot more. So I am getting the motor rebuilt, all new cab floor. Basically, it's a ground up restoration. It got broken down to the frame. Frame was sandblasted, painted, new cross members welded on, and I'm working on the electrical to get the motor running in it right now. It's got a Ford straight 6. It's a 240, or some people know it as the 300. So maybe we'll take a look at that in some other videos. We'll get that back on the rail hopefully this summer. Samantha says that is probably a top priority, because before we got married, I said I was going to take her for a ride on it, and she's yet to be on it. So, yeah. We'll see you guys next. All right, here's a quick look at the A6. You'll be able to see in some other videos. It's got the Ford Industrial straight 6 on it. The 240 and the 300 version. This one's actually the 240 version. It's a little bit older. And this is what I'm rebuilding. It's about 8,000 pounds once everything's all said and done. At least it was with the old cab that was on it. It had some very, very thick gauge steel on that cab. So when I brought it across the scales, tearing out the trailer weight, it was about 8,200 pounds on the rail car. So got a couple old propane tanks I'm going to use for the air system. New fuel tank. New distributor. Replace it with an electronic distributor instead of points and condenser. And then I've got a York 210 air compressor, or air conditioning compressor, coming in the mail. That's going to get swapped out to onboard air. And then I can start rebuilding the doghouse and start building up. So that will be in some separate videos if you want to watch those. You replace some steel members in here, but other than that, I've got to also work on the drawbar system for towing lorry carts and other carts. The frame is pretty much done. So, but you can follow around in that and some other videos. All right, see you later.